Greetings everyone, this is Lodrik and this is the game War in the Pacific Admits Edition, and we will check now turn number 4 of the match against Jochen. So this will be the activity of the 10th December 1941. The last turn I finished my second wave of reinforcements in the San Fernando area, North Philippines, and I also took the third base in Malaya. So, and we had some little air war around the Borneo with hitting some tankers. So we will see if I can continue this strikes on Jochen, his retreat. Jochen, I think he tries simply to retreat with his forces from the Philippines, from Singapore and Borneo and everywhere. He tried to escape maybe to Java and then reinforce everything there and rebuild it. Let's see. And we had, of course, last turn a lot of submarine activity. This time we have more sub-hunter. That is not so good. But at least no wheel activity. Here we find a tanker. It looks not like a big tanker, but every tanker I can think is good tanker, and the tanker are full with fuel, so I don't let escape the allies here with much needed fuel. I mean, it's of course every allied player would try to take as much fuel he can maybe bring to Australia for free now and deny these resources to me. And there was just a sound effect, I don't know if it was easy to hear, but it is, I think, like a mine hit. This is always this, if a ship hit a mine. So, because I lay some mines there, just at the same hex we had this engagement with the tanker. So, some ship just hit a mine, and it was not a Japanese ship, that I can say. AVP... I never really remember what is AVP, but it's some support ship. Okay, second attempt. Now I get the and sinking. Good. So far, a successful night. Oh no, American submarines, but good Japanese destroyers. I don't know if this is working. In deep water? No, for sure not. Oh, the second tanker. And the second hit. The only problem is that the Japanese submarines really don't carry so many torpedoes with them. I think only 9 torpedoes or 8 torpedoes, so I think German submarines, they always have 12, 14, 16 torpedoes, so yeah. But at least 2 tankers hit, and now is the AP. Ooh. I think I-7 122 sunk now 3 ships this turn. Oh, hit but no explosion. Pity, only heavy damage. But there was some sinking, so maybe 3 ships down for this. Okay, now my heavy cruisers. This is an EBA. Because my landing operation EBA was a little weak, not successful, and I try to support my army units now with some yeah, artillery fire from my heavy units to maybe suppress the allies, Philippines forces here. But sooner or later I must bring reinforcements here. Yeah, a lot of shells. But I think the only real impact is I damage 2 Warhawks and I make some base damage. But the main purpose was normally disable enemy army units, but no, somehow. Okay, this is now my invasion for Rabaul, at least the beginning. Yeah, so no suppress of enemy units. But okay, Miri the same. I skipped Miri before because normally Miri is not so important to take it. Normally you can also take it maybe in first 1 or 2 weeks, but taking Miri in Brunei is okay. I would say these are the important bases here now. Of course I suffer here some losses. Unbelievable. But so far the night was okay for me. Normally I would only bring my invasion forces to the bases without interdiction, and that my submarines can sink a lot of stuff. Oh no, a Dutch submarine. Maybe no counter-strike bombs this submarine. Yeah, a little damage, 3 hits. This is normally not enough. Uh-oh. My good cargo ship. Hit! But no explosion. Mark 14. Thank you. Yeah, deep water. No. Impossible. Okay. Skillfully, my submarine commander can avoid this. And there's a next mine hit. And again from an allied ship, not from a Japanese ship. With Dojo's game I never use mines, but here... Oh! Ah, hit but no explosion. Ah. Yeah. So Jochen always... It looks like Jochen use a lot of his luck in the December 8 turn. And now he is not so lucky more. Now Japan is maybe more in favor of the gods. This is my carrier division just got detected. Yeah, I think this is now this Who find who first? My Japanese submarines try to, of course, sink something, but Jochen have so many maybe submarine killer now out in the sea. Little bombardment here. And again, my seaplane tenders trying to bomb something with 60 kilogram bombs. And of course they fail. Yeah, because there's no air force more left, so I switch now to ground attack bombardment. Only trying to slow down the movement. Yeah, every day a little. At the end, all these disabled units consume supplies to bring them back in a ready status. And supplies is always something what is China doing. Oh. The British are coming. Oh. Yeah, no losses. Oh, some of my units get disabled. And this is the next raid on Aishang. But I simply have no fighters so far ready in China. I still need some more days to build up my air bases and then bring the fighters in the position. And even if I have now only this nade, I have a lot of more of these nade fighters. Pilots maybe are okay, but you can also see here now 2 light machine guns simply have no impact on anything. I must, you know how often I must hit a bomber now to maybe create 1 kill. All ammunition out. So maybe I can get rid of one of the bombers now. But we will see. End of the turn we will see. But it's also not that this bombardment have a real big impact. The Catalina is coming back. Oh. Okay. Luckily they're missing. I think last time they also missed. And this looks like a Dutch airstrike, yeah. Okay. Skillfully avoiding the attack. Oh, one more. Okay. These are all long range attack, so reduce bomb load. You don't know what is this? Maybe a scout bombardment. Maybe. Now my torpedoes are here. Okay. The problem is that this Dojo fighter is only a prototype, so I think they only have light machine guns, not heavy machine guns. And the pilots are elite, or top class, but the airplane is very fast, that's for sure, but light machine guns not really helping here. Okay, now we have here this Jochen uses B-17's bombers to making, I think, now maybe a ground attack to soften up my my Japanese army forces. And I don't know if 6 zeros can get rid of the enemy fighters here. I mean, we have here only P-35 and P-40B. So this old airframes, but they have still the numbers. And B-17s are always hard to catch. We will see how this ends now here. Not more many zeros left. Okay. No way to... B-17s are also so fast, so the time of intercepting, the combat time is short. And I really only can damage here some B-17s, maybe one or two of them. I mean, if we're lucky, then both of them are damaged and have ops losses, but I don't really believe it. I can only say that this airstrike at all have no real impact. Okay. Somehow every fighter is good in evading and avoiding the enemy attack, so what I said. My pilot gets killed? How this can be? Impossible. Shit American pilot? Unbelievable. So maybe I can get rid of one of these B-17s at least. Damage. Really hard to kill. And the Zero have already the 20mm cannons. Oh, I lost a zero. I mean, not that the bombardment is shitty again, but my good zero. Okay, now time for some revanche. My dive bombers are out again, and they're finding a light cruiser. Second attempt. Okay, if we don't hit the light cruiser, then we hit the cargo ships. Oh, there's a second car. This looks also like a little bigger cargo ship, maybe 7 points or even 8 points. Something maybe really useful. So heavy damage for bows and fire on, but no units. Okay. Now the torpedo bombers. So AP. Yeah, my carrier is out of torpedoes, so my torpedo bombers are also now horizontal attack bombers. Luckily, torpedo bombers, at least this early pilots, they have skills for both. They can making horizontal attacks and torpedo attacks. And hit again. Yeah, the Hongkong looks dead. Oh, and the mini AP. Now, most of the ships are very small and not really useful, I think. But many of them are of Dutch, Chinese, British. They are normally local ships. They are good for this short distance shipping. But for the Allies, maybe for later, for the long distance shipping, they are all... No one will use them all. Because they are simply too slow, they have not enough capacity. Too complicated to use them maybe. And the Americans, they simply producing much better cargo ships and transport ships later on in high numbers, so why you won't use this? Maybe in the first 6 months they have some meaning. Yeah, so there are more bomb hits. But at the end, all 3 APs go down. But again, no troops on this kind of ship, so they're all empty. At least without units. Maybe they're having fuel or supplies or something like this. And some Allied ship just go down. Afternoon airstrikes. So okay, we're finding some destroyer and a light cruiser, an APD. So there's a task force near to my first carrier division, near to Midway. I'm normally trying to retreat only, but maybe there's a... Oh yeah, not too far away, maybe in strike range. Yeah. So many submarines and so many subhunters. Ah, my torpedo bombers cannot locate the target. And here we have now a shitty torpedo boat, something like this, and my torpedo bombers trying to attack, but maybe I don't know even if they really attack or if they stop the attack, because it's impossible to attack this kind of ships with torpedoes. Okay, it looks like my carrier division go full out, so I have here now nearly 100 torpedo bombers and 19 torpedo bombers and 100 dive bombers plus 55 escorts. So this is more or less my maximum strike capacity, what is left for my carrier fleet, because I lost a lot of my torpedo bombers. And now we will see how my Zeros can battle against these Buffaloes. I think this is the better Buffaloes, edition 3. So these Buffaloes have already armor. Still the Zero is normally better. But this is now the American best fighter pilots against the best Japanese fighter pilots. Only the Zero is I would say better than the Buffalo in this case. But the advantage is, I think, for the Buffaloes, they can diving, because I have my Zeros on the same level or close to my dive bombers and my torpedo bombers to make sure that they are. Yeah, then the escort effect is working better. If you are too far off, often your fighters cannot provide enough escort abilities, and I don't know them. The escort fighters simply don't take part of the fight. Or I saw this already sometimes, so I try still to figure out how to best use escort. The same level, higher, under. Or, I mean, of course, normally I try to level different level altitudes. But anyway, I can only say I have 55 or 54 escort Zeros, and I hope this is enough to get rid of this enemy Buffaloes. And I can even destroy one. So there must be normally a carrier, or because normally these Buffaloes they cannot operate somewhere else. So there must be a carrier. I don't know, I cannot check now. It looks like that here is a carrier, an American carrier, at least one, maybe both carriers together. So if I'm lucky. But first let's see. There's still some Buffaloes in the air. And there are more Buffaloes coming. Okay, not so many kills, but it looks like the numbers of the buffaloes simply going down slowly. Okay, the second buffalo is I think they're really buffaloes are diving so often. Not that it really have an impact so far. I have here some damage zeros must return, but I think not really. I only lost 1 0 up to now in the Philippines. And the last buffalo is defeated. So all my attack fighters or strike units are coming through, and the first dive bomb will make immediately hit on Lexington. So here's Lexington. And there are also some heavy cruisers, of course. But torpedo attack failed. And 2 dive bombers, 2 bomb hits. But belt armor hit, no penetration, so no real hit. I mean, no damage. Oh, but 1 torpedo hit. Critical damage. Okay. Fail. Yeah, now torpedo bombers are taking destroyers. Of course, this is not really... Again, no hit. Okay, random dive bomber attack. But now is a penetration. The first bomb not penetrate, but the second bomb make a penetration hit, and the third bomb also. Bomb hit, 5-inch gun, armor penetration, okay, so some damage, but no explosion, no fire. Ooh. Again, no hit. Second torpedo hit, again critical damage. One more bomb hit penetration. I don't know how much really Lexington can handle. I mean, 2 torpedo hits I think is still okay. And this 250 kilogram bombs, they're really not creating too much damage against a big ship. Okay. I don't know. The efficiency of the torpedo bombers and this strike is really more on the American level than the Japanese level. Somehow they really... Not really many hits. Maybe it's related to the strong flag, but the flag is not really creating too much damage on my airframes. So I don't know why my airplanes simply don't want hit here something. Okay. Belt armor hit but no penetration, okay. This is armor penetration. Yeah, destroyers have no armor, so every hit is a penetration. Machine gun hit. Okay. A little damage maybe. I also don't know why torpedo bombers want to take with destroyers if there's heavy cruisers in the carrier. Okay, some pilots have skill. They can kill a destroyer with a torpedo. I mean... Somehow the Chicago never really gets hit here. And also the Portland is still not burning. Maybe now? Okay, maybe. Torpedo bombers, you know. So all this attacks was not focused on Lexington. Belt armor but no penetration. Belt armor, no penetration. So there was a lot of attacks on the ships that are normally only second class, but ja gut. official, we have here 8 bomb hits, but I think at least 3 of these bomb hits had no impact, so maybe 5 bomb hits and 2 torpedo hits, so heavy fire, heavy damage. At least I would say the carrier is crippled and out of action for maybe 6 months or more. That is good. Then we have here everywhere heavy fires and maybe 1 or 2 destroyers go down. The destroyers of course are not important, but if these 2 heavy cruisers are also getting out of action for 1, 2, 3 months, then I'm not happy with this. I mean, but honestly I would say somehow the strike was a disappointment on how many hits I only create. I create only 3 torpedo hits out of nearly 90 torpedo attack planes, so don't ask me, this is really not a good number. But most important is Lexington is at least for 6 months out of action, but no immediately sinking sound, so at least not now then. I'm not sure if this is working, but I think this is because both airstrikes take off at the same time, because now Lexington is at least out of action. But this is now the American counter strike, so now we will see if the American airstrike is strong enough to overcome my Japanese cap fighters. Of course, here now 24 dive bombers compared to my 90 plus 100. So I had 190 strike airplanes, and these are now only 24 strike planes. And I have also a little more Zero fighters. So I would normally expect that this American strike cannot be successful. But my strike was also only on paper successful. How many hard kills I really got, I don't know. So every Buffalo and every airplane I kill now here is for sure a dead pilot. I don't believe that the Pacific belongs to the Americans. It looks not good for the Buffaloes. I still have enough zeros normally left. This Buffalo or this F2 fighters, they are of course normally not really a match for the zeros. So F3 I think is really a step forward, and latest if the Americans have their 4 fighters, then the zeros getting outclassed. And there's simply a really big gap between this Zeros, the M2 edition, and the, I would say, the next best edition is the M5 edition. The M5 is normally coming first at summer of 43. I can normally not wait so long for an update for my fighter. So if I'm lucky, I can get this airplane maybe at early 43. So my Zeros are still fighting with the Buffaloes and had no time to attack the dive bombers, so... Okay. Now the Buffaloes are out of the game, and the rest of my Zeros now trying to interdict and intercept the dive bombers. There are some rules behind this. How much time is left? I don't know exactly, but my Zeros must now more or less try to break the enemy attack. This can also happen if the bombers are simply thinking that it is impossible to reach the destination, then they're trying to return to their base. Something like a morale check fail. But in this case, my Zero is simply attacking the dive bombers. And somehow the Dauntless are a little tough. I'm not sure if they have armor protection. I must check maybe later. Because I see here so often only damaged airplane but not destroyed airplane. A Japanese dive bomber, there's only flying or dead. Looks now there's one pilot at least know what he's doing. You also can see that this is a 2 edition. And this is a 3 edition, but I don't know, out of the head I don't know what is the difference. Maybe more range? Or maybe these 2 have no armor, they have armor, I don't know, I can maybe check later. Not that it really have a meaning for me. For the Americans, you cannot choose what you're producing, so you get everything for free, but with the Japanese you can of course always choose what you want to produce. It's a choice, but the choice makes also it's a burden on the Japanese player to think in advance what airframe is important or how many you need and how fast you must maybe switch to something better one and how much you invest for this better airframe. So play allies, you get everything in nearly unlimited numbers somehow, somewhere in end of 43 starting. So don't lose the war in the first, let's say, 16 months and the Americans will win the war. Still 11 dive bombers left. 10. Oh, so now these 10 dive bombers arrive at the destination. Now they make their strike, and at least I have some flak. More flak. More damage. So far, all fail. And the shitty Japanese flag can even kill something. So, yeah, 0 hits. Everything gets destroyed. Ooh. Unbelievable, my flag can really kill something. So I don't know if there's any difference. So no, the 2 and 3, they both carry the 1,000 pound bombs. So whatever. Luckily my carriers can avoid this strike. Now Catalina's coming back. Oh. Yeah. At least only one bomb hit, only on fire, but 120. Ooh. This was not good. Now the Dutch Air Force. It's 300 kilogram bomb. This is similar to 500 pound. Yeah, now I have heavy damage and on fire and more loss, more damage. Dome 24. Is this not a scout plane? Oh, they're carrying 4 300 kilogram bombs. Okay. Yeah, the lovely B-17 is coming back. They're taking my port. And they hit my tanker with 1 bomb hit and 1 port hit. Ay. So this is the end of the air war. My tanker. No! My good tanker. Yeah. This will only consume my torpedoes over time. This yeah, but what I can do. Something just sank. Sounds like not only one ship. Uh-oh. Nice submarine. Yeah, skillfully avoided. Good. Oh, a PC. Oh, and I thought a PC is maybe something like a submarine hunter, a patrol craft. Oh, but it was a sub attack. Okay. Ships go down. But I think PC is always the only 2 skill points. I don't know really what is a PC. Maybe it's like a small destroyer. Oh, 1 shell hit. Naja, but not really important. So now the land war. I don't really know. Yeah, maybe Jochen will attack me in the Philippines. I'm a little worried about this. But first we make a clean-up operation here near Changsha. 1100 against 160. And clear cut through all the Chinese, nothing left. Now Jochen's attack in the Philippines. Ooh, with tank. Ooh, in 2 Philippine divisions. And the only thing what holds the line is some Navy guard, experienced guy, and okay, so 360 to 99. Adjusted to 230 to 64, 3 to 1. So 1 unit gets destroyed because of 1 vehicle. Yeah, this was only a, I think a part of a unit, so not really completely gets destroyed. So the Americans lost 130 against my 430. So of course the advantage is for sure. Maybe next turn my units will break. Ooh, naja. Bombardment Kabul. But nothing really happens here. So I have roughly double attack power. And this is the end. Okay. So this carrier battle, I mean, let's say this is with Dojo I never had a carrier battle so far. I would remember, I think. So, and this the carrier battle was a victory for the Japanese. If it's a total victory, I don't know if I can say this. Still, I would say there's my torpedo bombers simply completely fail. My dive bombers maybe save the day, but and the Zeros they did their job, and yeah. To take out the Lexington, similar to the battleships, for 6 months or more will of course make it more easy for me. Good. So let's check the intelligence report. And the intelligence report say now more or less air to air 27 to 2 and 39 destroyed on the field. So this destroyed on the field is more or less now, I think, the carrier, because the carrier is maybe the hangar is burning, and then I think these airframes must leave the carrier, and if there's no airbase in range, I think then they are lost. I think I read something about this in the forum, so I don't know really 100% this, but let's say this. So if I check this, air losses today, so this is all destroyed on the carrier, I would say. Then you have a lot of dive bombers, kill in the air, kill by flag or on the ground, and ops losses. And but Buffalo is not really. So I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So you can see I had lost 4 dive bombers, and but most of is all ops losses. So return to base, return to carrier, and then have a crash landing, and then yeah. The only thing what really gets killed for me is a 1-0, 1 torpedo bomber, and 1 dive bomber. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. The others are all ops losses. So out of my 13 lost airframes, I have now 3 killed pilots. And this is, of course, there's flag guys killed, the 0 fighters killed, and the torpedo bomber is killed. So they all gets killed in air. But all the operational losses, the pilots only have some, they maybe break their legs or whatever, so they are wounded, but can maybe return after 1 to 3 months. But I still have no kill, no ace here. Yeah, my best pilots have 3 kills, but okay, but still this is good. At least many airframes are getting destroyed. Even if the Lexington can maybe survive this, maybe the pilots also can survive, but the amount of lost airframes will also be a handicap. So ship sunk, last turn. Official, no Lexington, but 1 heavy cruiser. Okay, so this is this New Orleans class cruiser. They are really good cruisers. I think the same firepower and yeah, I would say it's a very similar firepower to the Japanese heavy cruisers. Get rid of them is always good. A tanker, and the rest is all so-so. The PC. So I don't know what is a PC. You have no anti-submarine warfare. I thought it was a sub hunter. Okay. And what I lost? Oh, this is my tanker. Ah, a 2-point ship. But this is not really important. So this you can kill every day if you want. So, official, I only sunk now this heavy cruiser, but not the Lexington, and maybe this is really possible. I think at least I had killed 1 destroyer, but who knows? This is always fog of war. And maybe I can check here this ground unit destroyed. Now, official, no complete unit gets destroyed, only some part of the unit gets destroyed. So I cannot recall this unit. I don't know, in China I have not really much to say, only that I slowly getting more here units in position, so I maybe can attack this. This is the HQ if I remember. It starts here. I cross here this river, so next turn I can attack here. Here we had this big battle. I maybe try to catch up with these Chinese forces and completely destroy them or hurt them a little more. I have here some units trying to block the road. Here's the same. So Jochen have here now 6 units, so I think he will attack me, but I simply will only walk out. So I'm already on the way. I don't want to fight here. Or even if I have here 3 fort level, I don't know if we can check this. Here's a fort level of 3. But it's still open terrain and simply I'm outmatched. It's really not will help me much. Here's the same. Here 2 Chinese units, but I don't have enough. I just arrived with the first unit, but there are more on the way. So, and here's a lot of moving, so I don't know if Jochen is moving here out completely. We will see. But I have no enough forces here. I must reorganize here still more, and maybe in 2-3 turns I can bring out of Manchukuo my forces. So China is still a little slow. Hong Kong will be maybe next turn, because I still miss here 2 big units. Here's 1 whole division not ready to fight, so need one more turn to arrive in Hong Kong. Yeah, so next turn, the first battle of Hong Kong. Malaya was not really anything. It's only, yeah, I think this was already last time. Last time I already start blocking here. I cut Singapore off the rest, so I'm now moving with my big army to take this base, and then it's really for sure that Singapore is not possible to reinforce. Some submarines are here, but yeah, we saw it. Here's my mines. So, and I hear at least twice a mine hit. So maybe some ships just hit the mine. And the mine hit is similar to the damage of a torpedo, roughly. It is more or less the same. So here was nothing. Somehow here I saw this small information that my torpedo bombers cannot find the target. So I think because this is normally in range. I can show this. Oops. It is only 6 away, and I know this target, but there are also several storms, and maybe this have always an impact on. Somehow my strike aircraft cannot find it. This is guys getting hit by the Catalinas and also the Dutch forces, so this guy is completely burning. Luckily, this is a SF-10. I mean, the victory points are high, yeah, for sure. But there's nothing more left on this cargo ship, so I will not lose any unit. The other guy here also is only 5. So, but I want to arrive only here and unload my units and take this airbase. So, but I still must do here something. And I also must do something here to bring air cover here. But maybe next turn I find a solution. Here's many submarines all over Pearl Harbor. But so far, no real success. Success I had here maybe in this carrier battle. So this is my carrier formation, and I had normally no hit on my side, so I have still my 5 main carriers and some support stuff. And these are 2 task forces. Maybe they're broken now, I don't know. One task force with 4 ships and one task force with 9 ships. And normally we have here 2 carriers. I don't know if this is now Lexington and Enterprise together. But it's hard, because I don't believe it. My airstrike attack an enemy task force. And then that task force was only 1 carrier. Hopefully. Anyway, I'm running out of torpedoes and I have not many airstrikes left, and I will maybe simply say I take the victory and maybe return. And if Jochen can save his carrier, then it's a skillful. And if Lexington maybe will burn out and sink in the next 2-3 turns, then it is like it is. So I think I don't have much more to say, because these 1-day turns are simply not so. The progress is still not compared to a 2-day turn smaller. Good. Thank you all. See you. Bye bye.